Choose your pain. Hello, welcome back to my 90 days of lessons from me for me to you. And today is day 64, I believe. And in today's video, I want to talk about pain again, as I've been speaking about in a multitude of my videos. But there's so many different ways to interpret pain and to go about dealing with pain, right? And today's idea is choosing your pain. I feel one of the most fundamental aspects of life is pain. It sucks to say that, but it is pain. It's struggle, it's hardships, and it will never leave you. It'll never, ever go away, because I do believe those hardships and pain are one of the reasons that make life worth living, right? Because those bad days also means that there are good days, right? You could be at the best and highest peak of your life, euphoric even, and then a crashing low hits you and you're just down for the entire day and you don't even know why. So yeah, I want to speak about really choosing what you want to suffer for. I know I've kind of spoken about this in the past, but I kind of want to hit on it more this time around, right? Choosing the things that you're willing to put in the time for, choosing the things that you're willing to put in gosh, I'm stuttering. Choosing the things that you're willing to put your body on the line for, the tears, the sweat, the grind, all of those things, right? For me, choosing my pain is this, right? I wouldn't say this is painful, but the idea that I get on here every single day and I put myself out there. Maybe it's to the embarrassment of myself to other people. Maybe it's to other people think I'm stupid. They don't think I'm talking about anything that matters, right? And there's the idea that this will never exist. This will never be successful, right? That is a form of pain, the crushing of your own dreams, because you realize that you put your all into your dream and it didn't work, right? That's the pain that I'm choosing. Versus the pain that I could be choosing is the idea that, okay, I want to do this, I want to do it, but I'm not doing it. So I'm suffering for it. I'm suffering for the fact that I'm not chasing after what I want to because I'd be miserable. That is the pain that I'd be choosing if I wasn't doing this. The pain of, my God, I want to become a content creator so bad. I want to be a YouTuber so bad, but oh, I'm so jealous of them. They're doing this, they're doing that, but I'll never make it because I don't want to put the work in. That is the pain that I could be choosing. That is the pain that I chose for a long time, right? I always had the opportunity and I wouldn't say resources, but I had a phone. Always had a phone. I've had a phone, like an iPhone, since I was probably like, what, 13? And even before then, I had a Samsung Galaxy. Always booted this bitch up and recorded some YouTube videos, but I never did. And I mean, I've known that I wanted to do YouTube since I was probably like 15, 16, maybe even 14, and I never got on it, right? So, you know, I'm not gonna say that I'm not gonna tell myself that I chose that pain because I was a child and, you know, I had school to focus on, and like, you're a kid, you know, it's not really something that you're choosing that pain, right? But right now, when I say choose your pain is, dude, if you're at that job and it fucking sucks, you got to do something about it. If you're at that job, I understand that, you know, bills need to be paid, and of course, find a job before you leave your current job. Always do that. But invest in yourself, right? Find things that you love doing. Whether it is you want to do YouTube, whether it's you want to do something in the social media space, right? Or you want to go back to school, or you want to, you know, become better at something. You want to pick up a trade, you want to learn, you want to do something with your life that you're not doing right now. You're choosing the pain of going to that job every single day and not putting in that work towards your own dream, which means that you'll never be fulfilled, and some aspect of you will be miserable in your life, right? I'm okay with choosing the pain that this may never succeed, because at the end of the day, I can say that I put my all into it. And I feel like that is what will make that pain less. The idea that I put everything that I had into it. I showed up here almost every single day. I don't want to be doing this right now. As I've always said, not always, but as I've said multiple times in the past, but I'm choosing the pain I'm choosing the pain of being discomfort, tired, or uncomfortable right now to do this, because I'm passionate about this. I love this. I want to do this, right? And speaking of the pain of relationships, right? If you're in a relationship with that guy or that girl and it's not going anywhere, leave it, right? I'm always an advocate for try to work it out, but if you truly believe that there's nothing left to work out, leave. If you truly believe that you've done all that you can, leave. All right? Choose the pain of being alone rather than choose the pain of being with somebody and feeling and still being alone, right? That's what you need to understand. You can still be with a person and still be alone. Or no. Choose the pain of being alone versus choosing the pain of being lonely, right? Because after a while, being alone, you kind of get used to it. You've developed systems to manage it. You get better at it. Like, this is one of my systems of managing it, being alone, you know, because I'm single. So this is one of the things. I'm keeping my time preoccupied. I'm building myself. I'm making myself more, right? So why would you choose the pain of being with a person that you feel doesn't love you, or maybe they do love you but they won't make the necessary changes, or the next, or you know, whatever it is, and feeling lonely in that relationship? Why would you do that to yourself? I know it sucks. I know the idea of being alone or lonely sucks. The idea of being alone and lonely sucks. But would you rather be lonely with somebody else who doesn't appreciate you, who doesn't want you there, who doesn't love you? Or, like I said, may love you, but doesn't care enough to change certain things? Because you can love somebody and not like them, right? You can love somebody and not like them. I don't know if you know that. That's a thing that can happen. But yeah, man, just choosing that pain, choosing where you want to go, right? Do you want to choose the pain of living the next 50 years of your life working? Because, or maybe you make it to your 30s, right? And you have nothing. You didn't do anything with your 20s. You partied your 20s away. You drank your 20s away. You smoked your 20s away, right? And now you're in your 30s, 35. You're hitting 40. Maybe you're hitting 50, and you've still done nothing with your life. You built nothing for yourself. You built nothing for your future generations if you're having kids, right? Whereas if you grinded in your 20s, and this is not to say that you can't have fun in your 20s, right? You grinded in your 20s. You put in that hard work, that pain in your 20s, or maybe even your teens. Maybe you put that work in earlier, so that your 30s can be fruitful, your 40s even more fruitful, your 50s even more fruitful, and so on and so on. And then, you know, your kids see you, and maybe they'll take a page out of your book and they'll do the same, and then it'll keep going. It's cyclical, right? We do what we see our parents do. Our mind is limited by how our parents operate, right? It's very hard for you to break out of it. I'm fortunate enough, and I'm still working on it every single day, to break out of that, right? My mind, for the most part, is limited by what my parents have allowed me to see as a young, or not see, but what, I wouldn't say allowed either. I don't know, a good way to put it would be like, you know, okay, yeah. Like what your parents tell you, right? Because there's so many kids that are younger that their parents, unfortunately, they may not encourage them, or they may shit on them, right? And then they grow up and that's all they believe, because that's all they've been told. If the person who was supposed to love you more than anybody else, the first person who was supposed to love you tells you that you aren't shit, you'll never be shit, that messes you up psychologically, and it'll always be there. And it sucks so much, which is why I'm very grateful that growing up my parents always told me that I could be whatever I wanted. And that's what I'm doing with my life. I'm being whatever I wanted, because I'm choosing the pain of suffering for what I want to be. That later on in my life, I'm not gonna say there's not gonna be any pain. There's always gonna be pain. But I will say this: it's easier to cry in a Rolls Royce than it is a Toyota Corolla or a Honda. Oh, sorry. My guitar pick fell. But yeah, man, just choose your pain, and choose that pain wisely. Know what you're choosing, right? Always take a risk on yourself. That's the most important thing. Take a risk on yourself, and fuck what anybody else has to say, man. So put yourself out there. You never know what you'll get back in return, right? And again, one of the things that I'm trying to work on is choosing the pain of putting myself out there to actual people, right? Getting over my anxiety, getting over that stuff. If I can do it, you can do it. I'm being very vulnerable with you guys with this. Something I've struggled with for a good portion of my life. And I know I've been saying at the end of every single video, but it genuinely is something that I really, really truly believe this channel's. So that's it for today. We're back in the garage. My sister's graduation party was yesterday, so that's why yesterday's video was also in the car, because this stuff was set up, and I also pre-recorded that video. But yeah, I love you guys, and always seek God with everyone. Guys, I'm tired. seek God and put him first with whatever you're doing in your life. He'll always be there for you. And if there's nobody there that loves you, I love you, but there's somebody out there that loves you. I'll see you guys tomorrow.